When I change pages, you can see a thin blue line loading at the top. Let's try red. Refresh, and now our top loader is red. And now the loader is much thicker. Click the button again. And now, it works. The top loader shows when the route changes. Hey everyone! In today's video, we're diving into Next.js Toploader, a super handy progress bar that appears at the top of your website whenever a route changes. So here, you can see I've already opened a Next.js application in VS Code. I've added some dummy routes like home, about, and contact. I also created a navbar component with these links, imported it into my layout.tsx file, and used it there. Now the app is running, and in the browser, you can see the navbar at the top. When I click on these links, they change page instantly, and this is the initial setup I prepared so we can test Next.js Toploader in action. So first, I open my browser and search for Next.js Toploader. Here you can see the official npm package page on npm. I open it, scroll down a little bit, and here's the installation command. I copy that command, open my terminal, and since I'm using pnpm as my package manager, I run pnpm add Next.js Toploader. It takes a little time to install.
A few moments later.
And boom, installation successful. Alright, now let's actually implement the Next.js Toploader. I go back to the official docs page, scroll down a little bit, and here's the usage section. Since I'm using the app router, I copy the import statement and paste it into my layout.tsx file. Then I copy the example component, paste it inside the body tag, and save the file. Now I open my application again, and when I change pages, you can see a thin blue line loading at the top. You can also show a spinner alongside the blue line if you want. Back in the official docs, if you're using the pages router instead of the app router, they have an example for that as well. And that's it, we've set up the Next.js Toploader and it's working perfectly. Now, let's customize our Next.js Toploader. The package comes with a bunch of useful props that let you control its look and behavior. You can find all of them in the official docs, but I'll show you some of the most common ones. By default, the color is blue. Let's change it to black. I update the color prop, save the file, and now when I change pages, the loader is black. Let's try red. I change it again, save, refresh, and now our top loader is red. The default height is 3 pixels. Let's make it 10 pixels. I save the file, change the page, and now the loader is much thicker. Show spinner. By default, this is true, which means you'll see a small spinner next to the loader. Let's hide it, I set show spinner to false, save. And now when I change the page, there's no spinner, just the progress bar. Easing. This works like the CSS animation easing property. You can set things like ease in or ease out to control the animation style. Speed. This is in milliseconds and controls how fast the loader finishes. For fun, let's set it to something big, like 2 seconds. And now the bar takes longer to complete. Shadow. This is a CSS box shadow property. You can add a glow or drop shadow behind the loader to make it pop. Template. This lets you completely customize the loader's HTML. I'm not changing it here because I like the default, but you can add your own elements if you want something unique. Z-index. Also a CSS property, useful if your loader is being hidden behind other elements. Show at bottom. By default, this is false, so the loader appears at the top. Let's set it to true, save, and now the loader shows at the bottom of the page when navigating. There are even more properties in the docs that you can explore, but these are the ones I think you'll use the most. One of the nice things about Next.js Toploader is that you don't have to write any extra code to make it work with page navigation. It automatically listens to route changes when you place it inside layout.tsx or _app.tsx. But sometimes, you might want to trigger the loader manually, for example, when navigating from a button click or after some custom logic. Here's the thing, if you're using the default useRouter from Next/navigation, you might notice something. The page changes, but the loader doesn't show. Let me show you. I'm on my home page, and I've created this component as a client component. I import useRouter from Next/navigation, store it in a variable, and create a button. When the button is clicked, it redirects to the About page. Let's test it. I click the button, it redirects me, but there's no top loading bar. So that's our problem. Now, if we go back to the official docs, there's a compatibility with useRouter hook section. They explain that Next.js Toploader provides its own useRouter hook that integrates with the loader. So, I copy the import from the docs, Next.js Toploader/app, and I replace my Next/navigation import with this one. I save the file, go back to my app, click the button again. And now, it works. The top loader shows when the route changes. If you're using the Pages router, the docs also have a version for that, so no matter which routing system you're on, this hook is fully compatible. That's it, your Next.js Toploader is ready and fully customized. If this helped, drop a like, subscribe, and get ready for my next video where I'll show you how to add dark and light mode to your Next.js app using Next themes. See you there.